Hi, this is Alex Tomaszewska. Good afternoon on this Monday afternoon. Let's wait for my camera to stop fixating. I hate it when it happens. Like it doesn't do it until I go live and then it's suddenly, oh yeah, she's live. Let's break things. Somebody's joined. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. That would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, can you let me know if you can hear me, if everything is okay? Hi guys. Brilliant to have you here. Hey. Okay, thank you. Can hear me. Hey Carlos, good to see you. Good to see you. Fantastic. Right, so today, difficult topic today, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Awesome. Thank you, Carlos. I'm not gonna lie to you, I may get emotional today because I think it's fixating on my pillow. Because it's a difficult topic. I'm gonna be talking about depression right now. And the reason I am talking about it is, because I can, because I've been through depression. If you can say that anybody's ever been through depression. And the other thing is that it's a topic that is very much hidden within our society, and it's still taboo, even though depression hits more and more people every day, and it even hits kids below 10, they commit suicides now. How weird is that? What the hell is happening with the world? And it's a taboo topic. So I want to talk about it because a lot of people come to me, and if you go to my photo on Facebook, there's my bio over there. And it says over there, as far as I remember, that I have been depressed. And people come to me and say, wow, it's so brave of you to admit that you've been depressed. Not a lot of people will do that. Well, maybe not the best press. That's not the best press. I can agree with that possibly, but it's also not something to hide away, because swiping it under the carpet is not going to make this problem go away. We need to talk about this problem, and I want to give you some insight from my personal experience with depression so that we can understand it better, because understanding it causes the patients to feel better, basically, because we can then help them. So the first thing that I want to say is that depression is a disease. It is a disease. It's not a state of mind as some people would think. It's a disease, and it should be treated as such. So when your loved ones find out that you have a disease, they usually want to help you out, right? They don't want you to suffer, and that causes them to take some action, because they don't want to sit there helpless. They want to be able to help you. They want to really help you, right? The thing is that depression is this kind of a disease where you cannot really do much. And really how well you're going to cope with it depends mostly on you, on yourself. And when your loved ones tell you, for example, when you're depressed, they tell you you should go out more, you should go out and see people, you're just rotting here in your apartment at your home, and it's not serving you very well. They want to help you. It's important to understand that they come from a place of love, and they cannot stand the thought of being helpless. For me, being helpless is one of the worst feelings in the world. So I would also naturally want to help a person that's feeling depressed, doing the things that and suggesting them the things that get me out of a bad mood, right? And depression is not bad mood. It's something completely different. It is like if they tell you to go out and meet people and change your environment and do all those sorts of things which they suggest, they're not really helping, Because what happens then, and I want everybody to understand that, and I also want you to share this video if you know somebody that is depressed, if you know somebody that knows somebody who is depressed, if you are depressed. I know some of you guys. Exactly, yes, that's also the problem. I mean, most people suffer in silence, and I will get to that in a second, why that happens. But first, share the video with anybody that might need this. Depression is the kind of disease that, like any other disease, it may hit you at any point in time. I never expected it to hit me, but it did. The problem is that nobody expected depression to hit me, because I was the kind of person who's always joyful, loves life, is energetic, is ambitious, gets everything that she wants. She has a career, she's making a ton of money, she's traveling, meeting people, and basically it's all one big fairy tale, almost like. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because we never know who it's going to hit. So that's why I want you to share the video. Now, honestly, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare because of the holidays, so I'm not sure what this is going to go, but I want to speak about a couple important points. So first of all, I want to speak to those who know somebody who is depressed. Don't suggest that they go out to people unless, so depression, when it hits you, you can't do this. Basically, you're not ready to go out to people. Maybe after a while, you will feel good enough to go out to people. But what first happens to people who are depressed is it hits them and it disables them, not physically, not mentally. Not physically, but mentally. It disables them from proceeding in any manner that they have known so far. It disables them from going out and talking to people. When you're depressed, you don't want to go out. You don't want to go for a walk. Sometimes it's a success. The biggest success of your day is when you get out of bed. This is what we're talking about here. This is the level of activity that we're talking about here. And it's not going to go away in a day or 2 weeks or 2 months. 2 months probably not. No. You never know when it's going to go away. So when you suggest to the person that's depressed to go out and do some activities, what it does to them, you're thinking you're doing the right thing because you're coming from a place of love. Thank you. Awesome, Lynette. Good for you. I'm very happy for you. They're doing it from a place of love. But I want you to realize, if you're suggesting these activities to a person who's depressed, you are actually making things worse. Because, trust me, when we're depressed, we're actually already feeling awful about ourselves. We feel no respect to ourselves. We feel like we're not worth it, like we're not good enough. And when you tell us to go out and we don't feel like doing it and we don't feel like we have the strength to do it, it makes us feel worse. It makes us feel like we're unable to do a very simple thing. We put a lot of our energy, depressed people put a lot of their energy, like the rest of the energy that they have, into assuring themselves and assuring their loved ones that everything is going to be okay. And making them feel like, you don't have to worry about me. This is what we devote our energy to. And some days, most days, you don't have the energy, we don't have the energy to get up out of bed. Some days the biggest success is that you got out of bed and washed your hair. Sometimes the biggest success, on good days, you can cook. So you then cook for yourself and you cook more and you freeze it because you know bad days are going to come and then you will have nothing to eat and you will not be able, hey Abdel, you will not be able to eat. And also calling the pizza guy is not an option because you don't feel like you can do it. This is the level of activities that we're talking about here. So it's not going to work. If you want to help somebody that's depressed, the best thing to do is sometimes just to sit there with them and not even talk, Yeah. Thanks for commenting, Lynette. That's brilliant what you did just now. Don't push them into anything. Pushing a person that is depressed into doing anything causes them to go deeper down because they are not able to do it, and it makes them feel even worse about themselves. The only way, the biggest force in the universe is love. Love is the biggest force. It's the energy that is able to create, and is the energy that is able to cure. Feeling this love for yourself can get you out of depression. If you felt that you accepted yourself, if I felt that as a sick person, if I feel that I accept myself, I wouldn't need to be depressed, right? But it's very difficult to start loving the world and loving yourself if you don't feel like you're good enough. So really getting from a place of depression into a place where you love yourself is more difficult than you just getting from a normal space into loving yourself. So don't push them into anything. It's enough just to be there with them. Sometimes you can just call them on the phone and just not talk. They can feel your love, they can feel your presence, and that's okay. Obviously, I want to tell you how it started for me, because you may miss the symptoms. And see, I'm sitting also in the light like this today, like half of my face is lit up and the other one is dark. The dark side of the face is the depression, and you know about it. And the light face is the one that we show to people. People who are depressed will often not show it to other people. Do you know why? Because we are ashamed of ourselves. It's because the society doesn't really understand the disease. We don't want pity. Pity doesn't really help. And we are ashamed because we are unable of doing the normal things. If you are unable to get out of bed, you feel ashamed of yourself, which makes things even worse, much worse. So how it started for me, I had my life, my career and everything, and then suddenly I started to forget things. I started to have memory outages, to have blank spaces in my head. And I didn't know that I did something. So one of these examples is I would go out and to do something, like to take photos of my car that I was selling at the time, and I would forget the camera, right? You may say that's normal behavior, but this is not. I had a lot of meetings every day at work, and I had people. So I'm going to somebody saying, "Hey, Peter, we were supposed to meet and talk about this and this and that." And Peter would answer, "Alex, we've already done the meeting and we've discussed this." And I had no recollection of it, absolutely no recollection. I would need to ask them, what did we discuss? What was the outcome of the discussion? Everything. And it happened a couple times. So I had total memory blackouts, complete. That was the first thing that started happening. It was annoying. Like, I couldn't do my job anymore because I looked stupid, right? That's when it started, the decrease in my self-esteem. How stupid and unorganized am I to not forget and to not remember these things? But then one day, it was a Monday, and I remember it very clearly. On a Monday, I was fine on Sunday. Then on Monday, I just realized at 2 p.m., that I'm still lying in my bed, I'm not at work, and I don't even care. I don't care that I'm at work. And I am a driven person, a passionate person. So that was really the signal for me that it was really, really bad. Okay, I'll read that later. So the next day, and I want you to take this lesson here. If you see these kind of symptoms, they may be different for everybody, right? I went to the doctors the next day, and then I wasn't able to work for a year and a half. For a year and a half, I didn't care about the job. I didn't care about how I looked. I didn't care about anything. And I wasn't able to go back to work. I tried twice for like a week or two, and everything just kept coming back. I started doubting all of my capabilities, anything. And it happens just from day to day, just from Sunday to Monday. Suddenly, you feel like you're a complete failure. You don't know how to do anything. You don't know how to do the things that you've been doing all your life and training for. Nothing. You don't know nothing about yourself. You start feeling worse and worse about yourself. And if you have the kind of job where work just piles up, you know you're going to have to go back there and handle it. That really, that is really bad for you, because it seems like there's no way out. You know that even when you're kind of ready and you will feel okay, there would be all this work piled up. What I did, and I also recommend this to you, on the second day or the third day, thank you, of my depression, I got a dog. Animals are fantastic. Animals are amazing. I got my puppy, and well, fortunately, he was a troublesome puppy. So he was taking a lot of my time, and I had to focus on him. He was my only reason to get out of bed. I had to walk him, and that was good. I would put him here when I was lying down in my bed, and I would put him here so that our hearts would synchronize. And that's how we got an amazing bond, the two of us. So synchronizing my heart with him and with nature. And I strongly recommend doing work with animals, because I've learned so much from my dog through the years. Dogs, I'm going to go back to love. Dogs are love, and love is this force in the universe that is able to create, that is able to get you out of depression if you feel the love for yourself. Dogs teach you how to love, and they're absolutely incredible. You can get a cat too. Cats are good for depression too. Dogs are different. I am a dog person. Another thing that I can recommend to you is doing some other type of work with animals, where you can hire yourself. You can volunteer at a shelter, for example, or you can get a job at the zoo. You can just quit your old job. I wasn't doing my job. I could have just quit and gotten a job at the zoo. Or you can go to work with horses. Horses are very, very sensitive animals. A lot of people don't know it. They're very, very sensitive, so they will sense your mood, and they will allow you also to feel it. So you can go horseback riding, or you can take these courses, or you can take a course where they teach you about horses. Like anything that's connected to animals really is very, very helpful, and nature, you know. Other things that help are mindfulness and meditation. But also the thing that you cannot skip is therapy, because medicine will not cure depression. It doesn't cure depression. The only thing that cures depression is you and your heart and your love and your self-love and your self-acceptance. So let me explain to you how medicine works, because you may be using it, or you may be recommending it to your close ones who are suffering, right? Thinking it's going to cure them. It's not going to cure them. It's only to decrease the mood changes, really. So here's how depression medicine works. So life and our moods, they go in sinusoids, right? They go like this, like waves. And how the medicine works, it doesn't flatten it. it just cuts the extremes. It just cuts from here, so you are unable to be on a high, so you are unable to feel joy and happiness. And it cuts the extreme down here, so you are unable to feel all the sadness. They're supposed to protect you from feeling the sadness, to protect you from the suicidal thoughts, etc., right? But they also disable you from feeling the joy. And so life just becomes blank. And most of the time when I was depressed, I was feeling just like an empty shell. It's the kind of feeling, I will try to explain it to you. It's the kind of feeling where you have an out-of-body experience, where you look at your hands and they don't even feel like they're yours. Your body is just a shell, and it's moving somewhere around the earth, but really, because you can't feel anything, you have been deprived of all the things that make you a human being. You have been deprived of feelings and of emotions, especially when you're on medication, right? So you feel like you're walking around the earth, but really you can't feel any connection with your body, and you don't really care what's happening to it. Basically, the not caring part is really important. Like, I never lost faith. I never doubted for a second when I was depressed that the world is not a beautiful place. I know it. Like, I know it intrinsically. It's in my heart. The world is a fantastic place. People are great, and everything is possible, and we live in a most amazing world. I knew that. I just didn't give a damn. I just didn't give a damn about it anymore. And that made me feel guilty and bad about myself, because I knew I am supposed to be grateful for living in this amazing world. And I knew I was wasting my potential while being sick. And that made me feel even worse. See how it's all a downward spiral? That's why you can't push depressed people into doing anything, because it's just going to make them feel worse about themselves. The only thing that they can do is to calm down and start loving themselves. And therapy is the way to do that, because you have to deal with the stuff that led you to depression. That's how it works. I think that's it. I didn't get emotional, which is perfect. If you have any questions, or you would like to add anything, or you have a story, or if you know somebody that should see this, please share it. People really need to start speaking about depression. It's too big. It's growing. It's too big for us to neglect it. Remember this. It is a disease. Think about it as a disease like cancer, okay? You don't go to a cancer patient and tell them, oh, you should go out to people, it'll heal you. You should get out of the house, it'll heal you. It's not going to heal us. It's not going to cure depression. And also, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a damn about going out to people. It's not like you're a friend of somebody that's depressed, and you want them to go out, and you're thinking, if they go out today, maybe they'll go out tomorrow, and everything is going to sort itself out, which just brings to my mind learning how to walk. It's like if you teach a kid or somebody who's been in an accident how to walk, if they are able to walk today, they're going to be able to walk better tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. Guys, we know how to walk. Walking doesn't help. We know how to walk. And even if I do go out today, meet some people and feel better today, that thing about depression, the biggest fear that people who have been through depression is that it's going to come back. It's the kind of disease that does come back, and it hits you like it hit me, and it can hit you at any point in your life, so you never when it's coming back. And that's a huge, huge fear. Because when that happens, when depression hits you back, that also decreases your self-esteem. Because you're thinking, oh my God, I failed. I didn't get over this disease. It just came back. And it's like, I'm back to point A. I'm such a failure. That's how a depressed person feels. Right. I think I wanted to say a couple more things, but that's probably enough. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you for watching, for sharing your insight. If you want to hear more about depression, let me know about it. Oh, one more word of warning, I guess. It's a word of warning. The symptoms, right? The symptoms is when you're in drive mode. Hi, David. Good to see you here. When you're in, so there's something called the drive mode, which I used to live on. It's when your energy is high up. And my energy used to always be higher up than other people's energy. And a couple years before I even got depressed, I was visiting a psychologist for something that I wanted to sort out, nothing connected to depression or anything. And she told me, Alex, your energy is much higher than other people's energy, and you may enjoy it now. And I had been enjoying that all my life. But I want you to know something. Normal people, they have a high, have their energy level here. Yours is here. What happens is our life is a sinusoid of moods. And if you start from a higher level of energy, which is the drive mode, which is when you're ambitious, which is you're just driven, you just want to go and do and act and have fun, etc. When you go low, you're gonna, from a very high point, you're going to go very low as well. So normally people go from here to here. You go from here to here. And that's exactly what happened to me. I went really low, really fast. So watch out when you're in drive mode, because you may want to balance it out. And actually, instead of, I know it's enjoyable, it's a thrill, and we're thinking we're invincible and we've got all this energy and we want to change the world and make the world a different place, a better place possibly. And we've got all these dreams and we're just pursuing them, and it just feels so good because it's adrenaline, it's addictive, and you don't want to drop your energy. But it may be more sane to actually lower your energy level. It's more sane to maintain balance here, because you don't want to go down to the dark place. It's difficult to get out of the dark place. And one more thing I want to tell you as a tip. What I do is, you always want to have but what I find helps me, you want to have your community of people that will support you. And some people say that it's impossible to deal with depression when you're, for example, psychologist. They haven't been through depression, because they may have all the technical knowledge, all the theories, they may know all the theories, but they haven't been there, so they don't know really how it feels. It's like if somebody was teaching you how to cook, would you prefer a cook to do it or somebody who read 1,000 cookbooks, right? It's this kind of very subtle difference. That's why I'm talking to you, because I have been there. And I wanted to say something, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, so you want to have a community of people that will support you on the tough days. On your better days, you can support them. On your tough days, they will support you. And they need to be understanding. They need to know that you don't need to be pushed. You cannot be pushed. They need to be, it's good if they have been through depression, because they will know instinctively what to do, more or less. So you want to have the kind of people that really make you feel good around yourself. And basically, maintain a healthy lifestyle all the time, like maintain your health all the time. It's like if you had a stroke, you go on a diet. If you have a high cholesterol, you go on a diet and you stick to the fucking diet all through your life, because you know otherwise you're going to have another stroke, you're going to have a heart attack, right? You stick to your diet all your life. So you stick to your good habits all your life. After you've been depressed, you maintain your nice balanced energy level, you maintain the good relationships, you seek for people who will be good for you, the good environment, and you take care of yourself and you don't push yourself too much. People who have been depressed, they slow down and they're absolutely fine with it. They slow down, they start enjoying life because they're too scared that it's going to come back. And it really is a very nice habit to slow down. And the life can be beautiful. To those of you who are currently depressed, I want to say, life can be beautiful. Life is beautiful. Don't push yourselves. Just try and love yourselves for who you are. As hard as that sounds, that is the way to be. Thank you guys. Let me know if this was useful. Again, share and comment. I love to read your comments and your stories. This was based on my own experiences. I wish you all a great evening and a fantastic week, and a lot of strength and a lot of love from within. Bye guys.